Imagine losing hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in Rome without even realizing it. Yes, it happens more often than you'd think. Rome, the eternal city, is a magnet for travelers from around the globe. But beneath its alluring charm, there are pitfalls waiting to trip up the unwary tourist. These aren't your run-of-the-mill travel mishaps. They're costly errors, often born out of misinformation or lack of awareness. They can turn your dream vacation into a bitter experience, leaving you out of pocket and feeling disillusioned. It's not just about the money, though. It's about experiencing Rome in its authentic, unspoiled beauty, without falling prey to common tourist traps. So how do you avoid them? Knowledge is your best defense. Being well-informed about these common mistakes can save you time, money, and regret. Stay tuned to unveil 10 common mistakes that could turn your dream Rome vacation into a nightmare. Walking through Rome's bustling streets, you'll find an array of street vendors offering souvenirs that are hard to resist. The allure of a bargain, the excitement of an impromptu purchase, the charm of a memento. It's a tantalizing scene. Now picture this. A traveler, let's call him John, swept up in the moment, purchases a beautiful statuette. It's a perfect replica of the Roman Colosseum, or so he thinks. He's thrilled with his find. It's a tangible piece of Rome he can take back home, but alas, John's joy is short-lived. Upon closer inspection, he discovers the statuette is a counterfeit, made of cheap plastic, not the authentic stone he was led to believe. The intricate details he admired are nothing more than hastily painted features. The vendor, nowhere in sight, is probably peddling more fakes to unsuspecting tourists. John's story isn't uncommon. Counterfeit goods are a prevalent issue in tourist hotspots. It's crucial to be discerning, to question the authenticity, to verify the source. Don't let the excitement of the moment cloud your judgment, so be smart. Don't let the counterfeit charm trick you. A photograph with a gladiator at the Colosseum might seem like the perfect souvenir, right? Well, let's dive into a tale that'll make you think twice. Picture this: a bright sunny day in Rome, a tourist, let's call him John, stumbles upon a gladiator, or at least someone dressed like one. John, thrilled with the idea of capturing this moment, jumps at the opportunity. The gladiator strikes a pose, John clicks a picture, and all seems well. Until the gladiator demands a hefty sum for the photograph. Caught off guard, John ends up paying much more than he bargained for, simply because he didn't ask the price beforehand. So, what's the takeaway? Always verify the cost before you avail such services, because in Rome, as it turns out, not all gladiators fight fair. This way, you can avoid falling into the same trap as John and save your hard-earned money for experiences truly worth remembering. Remember, not all gladiators fight fair. Hopping into a taxi seems like the quickest way to get around Rome, but is it? Picture this: a tourist, fresh off the plane, hops into a taxi and watches the city rush by. They arrive at their destination in no time, but their relief quickly turns to shock as they're presented with an exorbitant fare for what was just a short ride. This is the taxi trick, a common pitfall for unsuspecting visitors in Rome. It's easy to fall victim to unlicensed taxis that charge sky-high rates. But here's the catch: not all taxis are out to swindle you. Licensed taxis operate under regulated fares, offering a safe and cost-effective way to traverse the city. So how do you avoid falling into the taxi trick trap? Familiarize yourself with the local rates. Ask the driver about the fare before you start your journey. And most importantly, look for licensed taxis. They're typically white and have a taxi sign on the roof. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and you won't discover all its charms in a rush. So slow down, plan your journey, and don't let the taxi meter run your holiday budget dry. A meal at a restaurant overlooking the Pantheon might seem like an irresistible treat, but at what cost? Imagine, you're seated at a touristy restaurant, the menu is in 4 languages and the prices are sky high. The food arrives, it's good, but nothing exceptional. You pay the bill and later realize you could have had an authentic, flavorful meal at a local eatery for half the price. Here's the thing: Rome is a city that prides itself on its gastronomic delights. The narrow alleys and hidden piazzas are full of local trattorias where the aroma of freshly baked pizza and simmering sauces waft through the air. These are the places where Romans eat, where recipes have been passed down through generations, where the food tells a story. So before you settle for the first restaurant with an English menu, do a little homework. Check reviews, ask locals, venture a bit off the beaten path. Find that place where the locals dine, where the pasta is homemade, the ingredients are fresh, and the bill doesn't make you gasp. Savor the flavors of Rome, but don't let them leave a bitter taste in your wallet. A souvenir from a kiosk near the Trevi Fountain seems like a sweet deal, doesn't it? But is it really? Picture this. You're basking in the Roman sunlight, entranced by the ornate beauty of the Trevi Fountain, and you spot a kiosk. It's brimming with mementos that look like the perfect reminder of your trip. You buy one without a second thought, only to realize later that you've been conned into paying a small fortune for something that's not even worth a fraction of the price. The truth is, these kiosks near tourist attractions often hike up their prices, capitalizing on the fact that tourists may not know the actual value of these items. So, before you reach for your wallet, consider this. Wouldn't it be smarter, perhaps even more authentic, to scour the local markets or supermarkets instead? You'd be surprised at the treasures you can find, and at a fraction of the cost. Don't let your sweet memories of Rome be soured by a sour deal. Dressing up for a visit to the Vatican City might seem unnecessary, but is it? Picture this, a sunny day in Rome, and you're ready to explore the breathtaking Vatican City. But there's a hitch. The guards at the entrance of St. Peter's Basilica turn you away. Why? Your attire. That's right. An oversight as simple as a pair of shorts or a sleeveless top can bar you from experiencing the rich history and divine beauty of these sacred sites. The Vatican, like many religious sites in Rome, requires visitors to dress modestly. That means no bare shoulders, no shorts, and no skirts above the knee. It's not about fashion, but respect. Respect for a place that holds deep religious significance for many. So, before you set out on your Roman adventure, remember to pack a scarf or a shawl to cover up if needed. The Romans have a saying, "Non siamo mica al mare," which translates to, "We're not at the beach." This is a gentle reminder that when visiting religious sites, one should dress appropriately. So remember, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Throwing a coin into a fountain for good luck is a popular tradition. But which fountain should you choose? Picture this. A tourist, fresh off the plane, stumbles upon a beautiful fountain. With a glint in their eye and a coin in their hand, they make a wish and toss the coin into the water. A lovely moment, right? Well, not quite. The tradition of throwing coins and making wishes isn't just for any fountain. It's specific to one fountain and one fountain only, the iconic Trevi Fountain. Tossing coins into other fountains isn't just a waste of your precious change, it's a disregard for local customs and traditions. It's easy to get swept up in the romance of Rome, but let's remember to respect the city and its customs. After all, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Make a wish, but make sure it's at the right place. Booking a hotel outside the city center might seem like a good way to save money, but is it? Picture this. You found a seemingly wonderful deal on a hotel, but it's located on the outskirts of Rome. You think you've hit the jackpot, saving on accommodation costs. But as your vacation unfolds, you realize you're spending more on getting around than you had anticipated. The constant commuting becomes tiresome, eating into your precious vacation time. You find yourself spending more time in transit than exploring the heart of the eternal city. Unforeseen transportation costs start to add up, and that bargain hotel doesn't feel like such a steal anymore. The solution? Book your accommodation close to the city center. Yes, it might cost a bit more up front, but you'll save time and money in the long run. After all, you're here to experience Rome, not its transportation system. Choose wisely, because location is key. Now brace yourself for the most terrible mistake you could make in Rome. Venturing into the Eternal City, it's easy to get lost in the allure of famous landmarks and well-trodden tourist paths. But the gravest error one could commit isn't about counterfeit items, taxi scams, or even the infamous Fountain Faux Pas. No, it's far more insidious and often goes unnoticed until it's too late. This mistake, dear travelers, is simply not exploring beyond the surface, not immersing yourself in the true spirit of Rome. It's sticking to the beaten path, only seeing the Rome that's served up for tourists on a silver platter, while the real city, vibrant, complex, and richly layered with history, goes unnoticed. Imagine being in Rome and not experiencing the aroma of home-cooked meals wafting from the windows of Trastevere, or not witnessing the golden hues of sunset painting the cobblestone streets in the lesser-known corners of the city. Picture missing out on the delightful surprise of turning a corner and stumbling upon a quaint little piazza, bustling with locals enjoying their evening aperitivo. This, my friends, is the most terrible mistake, to be in Rome, yet not truly experience Rome. It's akin to reading only the cover of a book and claiming to know the story. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and it certainly can't be experienced in one either. Take the time to wander off the beaten path, to soak up the soul of the city, to live as the Romans do. It's only then that you'll truly understand the magic that is Rome. So, next time you plan a trip to Rome, remember these mistakes and avoid them. And don't forget to share this video with your fellow travelers. Let's make travel smarter and safer for everyone.